Hi there, I'm Ember, one of the co-directors of the North Country Comic Con in Watertown, New York. We created this show to give you a sneak peek at some of the amazing things in store for Nococon this summer. Recently, I sat down with legendary cosplayer and video creator Jen Markham to discuss what she does, why she does it, and what might be in store for this summer at Nococon. How did you first get started in cosplay or TikTok or merging the two?
Sure, yeah. I'd always loved costumes, They were just always fascinated me. I owned books on costumes and loved movies, but never really did anything with it. And then, and I was a Star Wars fan as a kid. And then when The Force Awakens came out, like a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, I was a Star Wars fan as a kid, and this is so great, it's back." And I wanted to make Star Wars costumes for Halloween. I learned to sew, and we had made like one costume for Halloween, but then didn't really think of it beyond Halloween.
Hmm.
And then when I was researching, I was making Rey for myself from The Force Awakens, and I stumbled across the RPF.com, which is a big online forum for prop builders and costume makers. And I was just fascinated by this whole world of people who made screen accurate costumes and knew like the exact shoe characters were wearing on screen. And I'm like, what? Something about it just I found fascinating, and the puzzle solving. So I really got into it, and I made Rey, and then I made Jyn Erso from Rogue One, and then went back to the original trilogy and made Leia, and it just kind of has sort of snowballed from there. I just love it. I love the textures and the colors and the problem solving. I just, and of course with Star Wars, the design of it is so distinctive. I
Hmm.
think it's always really drawn to me aesthetically.
A lot of cosplayers have a similar story. They get excited by the problem solving aspect, figuring out how to make something. Once you make it, you're like, yes, I did it. But how does it blend into TikTok?
So I think, like a lot of people, I joined TikTok during the pandemic. We were all at home, and I'd always posted photos of my costumes or of the build process on Instagram. And then a lot of my Instagram cosplay friends were also now making little videos and posting on TikTok. And I'm like, well, I don't really know I could do that. That looks fun, but I don't know what I would make a video about. And then I had a friend who made a video just about all her costumes and her collection. I'm like, oh, well, I want to do that. That's something I could do. And then and then kind of the more you watch TikTok, the more ideas you get and the more you kind of get it. I started writing my own like little skits and things, and it just kind of was this a creative outlet I didn't really know I needed and really enjoyed. And I got very lucky that the videos, at least some of them hit, and I was able to kind of grow it from there. And it's been just really amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool when stuff takes off. You're like, oh, people actually dig this. This is neat.
So neat. And listen, a lot of people make a lot of cool stuff. I think there was some element of luck to it too. I mean, I work hard and I think I make good stuff, but a lot of people make good stuff. So I just feel really fortunate that maybe it was the right place, right time.
I imagine it takes a ton of work to come up with the different sketches. Some of them are a bit more production intensive than others, but like, how do you just keep doing it? You know?
That's such a good question. And I struggle sometimes. I do. Sometimes it's like, oh man, or like if views are down, you get like wrapped up in the numbers. And it's advice I hear and advice I try to take, advice I give is just don't make what you love, have fun doing it, and don't worry about what you can't control. But I get stuck. I'll get stuck and be like, oh, I just don't feel like it today, or it's cold outside, or I don't feel like putting a costume on. But just go back to what do I feel like talking about today? What do I feel like making a video about today? What's going to make me excited and energized? That's always done a little bit. That's always made me feel better and felt more motivated than like, okay, let's talk about something that everyone else is talking about, just to kind of hop on that view train. You know what I mean? Uh, that's just harder somehow mentally for me. So I just try to do what I like and try to keep my own positive energy up and not try to worry so much about stuff I can't control.
A lot of your videos, you incorporate an element of Bill's fandom, and that's a very unique thing. I'm curious, do you get more support for that or flack? Because Star Wars fans aren't notorious for being football fans, also.
It's hard to tell, especially on TikTok. I don't know who TikTok is showing my videos to. I mean, I think I have a few people that are excited no matter what. I'll get comments like I didn't really care about football, but because of these videos, I'll root for the Bills. I do it because what I was just talking about before, it's something that I care about, something that I'm passionate about, something I'm spending time enjoying. It's natural to my life to just make it a fun thing. And then with my Trooper Mom Grogu videos, I just thought it was a fun idea that he has no idea about football and she's a super fan. And so the jokes have been easy to do where he's just like, what is this? And so, yeah, I don't really know if it's hurt me or helped, or I haven't really got a lot of negative comments about it. But again, I just do it because it's something that I find fun, and that's
Yeah.
usually been the winning formula. It's made a little unique, kind of straddling those two worlds, maybe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there may be other people doing similar things, but I haven't seen it. But there is, it seems to me, a great love in recent years of people crossing over different fandoms that they like, even going so far as making custom characters. It
That's
was
so
just cool.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen so many creative things. I've never done a mashup, but I would love to. And it's just people showing what they love. Like they
Hmm.
love Marvel and they love Star Wars. They'll do like Jedi Doctor Strange. When that just kind of
Hmm.
works anyway. Or you'll see like all the Disney princesses. This big group will do like Mando Disney princesses, and it's just stunning visually. And then it's also clever. It's great. It just makes everybody smile.
Hmm. Yeah. It strikes at people as clever, and oftentimes you'll find people who are fans of both things, and they're like, I'm so glad that happened.
Of course, we're not monoliths. We're
Hmm.
human beings with tons of different interests. And so then if you see someone that happens to see the two things that you're just like, oh, that is so cool, whether it's, Doctor Who and Star Trek or whatever it is, and it's more human kind of too.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes to the heart of what drives cosplay and Comic Cons in general, I think, is that spark of creativity, that inspiration. You see what other people are doing, and it gives you ideas too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As far as the con, do you have anything particular in mind that you'd care to like hint at?
Well, it's a few ways off, but at least as of this recording, this will be my first cosplay guest appearance at a convention, which is super exciting. I've done a couple panels at things, but never been like a guest. So I am extremely excited, but will be new at it. So I'm kind of mostly I just want to meet people, and have the chance to talk to people. That's what I love doing at cons anyway. Yeah, and I love to see what people are doing and what costumes people are wearing, what people are talking about, what they're buying. My favorite part of conventions, no matter what role I'm in, is just to see what other people are excited about.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know that the pandemic, a lot of people sort of got into or discovered fandoms or cosplay that had never had the time or maybe the opportunity to do it before, and they've been going to their first conventions, or people ask me, what is a convention like? I'm like, well, it's so different for everybody. Some people like to shop, and some people collect art, and some people do panels, and some people do autographs, and some people do cosplay, and it's really something for everyone. So no two experiences are the same. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, there's we like to say there's something for everybody, and we try to
Right.
do that. But you're absolutely right about a lot of people suddenly discovering cosplay during the pandemic when everything was shut down. It blows the mind how many more people are coming into it. And it's because they're inspired by other creatives like you. They see you doing your thing, and they're like, I want to do that too.
That's sweet. And I'd love to take credit for anyone's amazing costume, but I think it's also part of the pandemic. People maybe didn't have time before. And they're like, well, I'm at home, and they got into it. Or, it's a part like, listen, life is short. A pandemic could come along, and what are we doing? And I've always wanted to X, Y, Z. I've always wanted to build a stormtrooper. I've always wanted to do it. Just do it. It's that sense of, man, stop waiting around for things you might want to do with your time and give it a try. It's just fun. It's everyone who doesn't love your favorite film or TV show or video game or comic book or whatever. And then however you want to enjoy it, just enjoy it, man. So this world can be tough. So if there's a spark
Hmm.
of joy, grab on with both hands and ride it.
So, before we go,
Hmm.
for those of you who aren't familiar with you, where can people find you?
Sure. The big places, I'm a video creator, so video platforms like TikTok. So I'm at Jen Markham there, JenMarkham. Same on YouTube, at Jen Markham on YouTube. And then Instagram, I couldn't get the Jen Markham, so there is an underscore. in between the N and the M on Instagram. And that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Jen. I do
Oh,
appreciate you taking the time
Of
today.
course. Thanks for having me.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please take a moment to hit that subscribe button because we have so many other interviews coming up every week while we count down the days to the opening of Nococon 2023. Tickets are on sale now, so be sure to get yours, and we'll see you this June.
Set a course for our YouTube channel for interviews with more guests and featured creators bringing the epic to Watertown. Make it so.